going on, everybody? Joseph Hadid here for Worldwide Sport Updates, your podcast, your news, your local community. Good morning, sports family. Thank you for tuning in to Worldwide Sport Updates, your podcast, your sports, your news, your local community. Thank you for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen, and subscribing and sharing and commenting and tuning in to our podcast on this Friday edition of your Worldwide Sport Updates. Your host here. It is again Friday, November 14th. 2025. TGIF indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in. All right, let's break it down on what transpired in sports this past week. We're going to start off with some NBA news. Ladies and gentlemen, the NBA continues to deliver star power and storyline fuel. One of the biggest headlines, Nikola Jokić of the Denver Nuggets exploded for a season high 55 points in a win over the Los Angeles Clippers. 25 of those in the first quarter alone, as Denver extended a 6-game winning streak. Jokic's surge has catapulted him to the top of the MVP ladder early in the season. The in-season tournament format, the 2025 NBA Cup, is shaping up to add drama. The Nuggets beat the Golden State Warriors 129-104 in a cup game on November 8th with Jokić 26-9-9 stat line. Roster news: the Los Angeles Lakers versus the New Orleans Pelicans matchup on November 14th, which is tonight, features injury galore. LeBron James is ruled out. New Orleans missing multiple key pieces. Something has to give. Takeaways: the league is in watching Jokić mode. While the Cup tournament gives fresh stakes, expect more fireworks as teams are jockey for early momentum and bragging rights. Alright, let's shift over to some NFL news. The NFL had its share of upsets, collapses, and power shifts this week. In Week 10, the Chicago Bears pulled off a dramatic win over the New York Giants, 24-20, after relaying late in the fourth quarter. That is. The Giants had a 10-point lead, and rookie quarterback Jackson Dart exited with a concussion. By the way, he will not be playing this week for Week 11. Jameis Winston gets the nod. He gets the start. Alright, the Giants then, ladies and gentlemen, fired head coach Brian Daboll following that loss, citing an 11-game road losing streak and a 2-8 start. The Buffalo Bills once again among the narrative favorites. They were upset 30-13 by the Miami Dolphins, ending a 7-game winning streak versus Miami. Quarterback Josh Allen struggled badly. Overall, Week 10 was filled with surprises. Underdogs won around the league. Blowouts happened with big leads that were surrendered. Takeaways: the NFL is serving up unpredictably the Giants' internal shakeup and Buffalo's stumble single that there is more chaos ahead than we may have expected at this point. Alright, let's shift over to some NHL hockey news. Turning to the ice, the NHL delivered its own drama last week. The Dallas Stars pulled off a wild rally. They scored twice in 47 seconds in the third period to beat the Nashville Predators 5-4 on November 8th. Meanwhile, the league updates note that the top of the scoring charts is shaken up. Goaltender Schaefer, not a household name yet, passed Hall of Famer Bobby Orr in a stat category. A subtle but telling sign of changing the guards. The Carolina Hurricanes are preparing for a back-to-back set and hosting the Vancouver Canucks on Hockey Fights Cancer Night which will be tonight. Atmosphere and emotion will be in play. Takeaways, ladies and gentlemen, while the NHL may not always steal headlines like the NBA or NFL, of course, dramatic comebacks and emerging storylines, rookies, new leaders are quietly building. Keep an eye on the Hurricanes' emotional games and teams scraping for momentum. All right, let's shift over to some Major League Baseball news. From around the league of MLB, from the Diamond, the MLB is focused less on games and more on rewards and off-season direction. Superstar Shohei Ohtani claimed the 2025 National League MVP. Yes, again, becoming an anonymous winner and joining the all-time elite with his fourth MVP. The awards kept rolling. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. won the inaugural Entertainer of the Year, while designated hitter Denzel Clark grabbed the Player of the Year for a stunning catch. More rewards to follow. Ronald Acuna Jr. was voted National League Comeback Player of the Year. That's no brainer, of course. We all expected that. While Jacob deGrom earned the National League counterpart. In Development League, the Arizona Fall League championship game schedule was shifted due to weather, showing the consistent logistics in the sports ecosystem. Takeaways. While the regular season is done, of course, the MLB is flexing its star power and setting narratives for the year 2026. Ohtani's dominance and Guerrero's flair keep the game exciting off the field at least as much as on. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all for this week. Take care of each other, YouTube family, and sports family, that is. Look out for each other. Stay blessed. Stay safe. And until then, ladies and gentlemen, we'll meet next week. Recorded podcast. Have yourself a great weekend, ladies and gentlemen. This is Worldwide Sport Updates. Your host, Joey Hadid. Again, Worldwide Sport Updates. Your podcast, your sports, your news, your local community. Have yourself a great weekend. Bye-bye.